All right, in this tutorial, we're going to show you how to put events on the website. You're going to hit the sign up now button or whatever, and we're going to log in as our host vault. And what we want to do is hover over to events and then hit create event. And then put in the information for the event. Now I've already pre-filled a bunch of this information and I'm gonna copy and paste it out of Word, throw in some additional spaces and double check everything. But you wanna have all the information here, or you can put it in the thread. We'll get to that in a second. So this event location, everything is going to be there. So I'm just going to copy this, put the actual title in there. You can put the actual date if you want, but now you don't really even need to do that. I'm going to copy the address, the location. This is important because if you don't do this, the map won't generate correctly. Start date, it's going to pull up a calendar. So you're going to go to when this thing starts. In this case, we are 9:23. And then you can pick the hour. So I'm going to choose, we can start loading at 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. And that's where we're going to go. And then for the end date, I'm going to put Sunday. And checkout on Sunday is 10 a.m. So I'm going to go 10 o'clock a.m. and then close it out. Time zone is going to be wherever you are. And then the tag would be things like LARP, game, Wisconsin, Norhaven, things people might search to find your game. And then once you have that done, you can add a canvas. You can add a picture to this event, and we'll go ahead and do that. So once again, we will throw a image in here. You want to make it as small of a file as possible. And I'm going to game media. And then I'll put the picture at the bottom. And hit create event. You can see the event is now created. And it does have the picture in there, the map of location, and all that. I can now also manage administrators. So let's say I want to add a few other people to this. So like I can add the LARPcraft of Milwaukee. I can add the LARPcraft of, of course, we're co-promoting this event. So I can add let's see, add a few other folks there. You can add regular people as well if you wish. And then RSVP, you don't really have to do that as a host, but you can. And that's how you add an event. Okay, now that we made an event, we're going to assign the thread, or we can actually put a thread to this. And that's important so people can ask questions about the game. And it'll create another tab over here, which will allow, basically it attaches a forum thread to an event so people can interact with the event. So what you want to do is you want to go and find your local host area that's out of game. It's the out of game area, not the in-game area. And for this one, we are looking at event chat. I'll just put it in the Norhaven one. And what I'm going to do, oh, I already have one. Look at that. September, oh, nope, that's Ren Fair. That's not right. So we are going to put the event information in there. Okay, so I'm just copying and pasting it out of Word and basically just creating a thread. And I don't have to put much in there yet. You can add polls, you can do all that kind of stuff if you want. I'm just going to create this event. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this URL and copy it. And then I'm going to go back to that event. Your events, you can do it this way, or you can actually find it on the calendar and then do it another way. Click on it. But what we're going to do is we're going to assign the thread. And so we're going to put that thread from the other event and assign it. And then what this does, why it defaults back to this page, I don't know, but that's what it does. If you go into the event, either on the tap tab here or whatever, now you'll see there's a discussion tab. And the discussion tab allows you to see and make, updates with that event. So you can add a thread if you want. You can not add a thread if you don't want to, but it's a functionality of the site that allows you to do that. If you want to invite people to the event, you can just start clicking on their name and it'll send an invite. If you have a whole bunch of people that you want to invite, usually what I do is I make a Word document with all the normal people that come to my events, and then I just copy and paste them into here. You just put the name in along with the comma, and that separates the names. And that way it's real easy to make events and invite a whole bunch of people all at once. Most of you know how that works because that's how I do it when I make elder meetings. All right, so now we have the event. Now we're gonna want to make a pre-registration for the event. And you can do that as your host vault. All right, now that we've made the event, let's go ahead and make pre-registrations for the event. Now, host vaults are able to create items within the marketplace, and we want them to be only adding stuff in the marketplace under event registration or pre-registration. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the marketplace, and basically we got to first go to the seller dashboard. So we're going to go to the seller dashboard and enter in your PayPal email address. This is going to be important because that's how you're going to collect the money, and then hit gateway as active. And then once you do that, when somebody purchases something from your store, that money will go to your PayPal address. Now, that's the only way we can do it right now. I don't have any other way to do pre-registrations. If you want to pre-register people without selling a pre-registration and give them a ticket, you can do it for free, but you can't do it with money without the PayPal email. You have to create your own PayPal and link a bank account to it, and it'll work. Next off, we're going to go to shipping speeds, and basically what we're going to do is just do online. So we got to make it so people can actually put this stuff in their cart and then tell us where in the United States that it can happen. Now, if you want to hit control all, if you want to, yeah, you can't control all like that, but I can click on Alabama and I can drag it all the way down and then hit shift and then left mouse click, and that'll tell me what regions it'll be in. Currency is going to be your currency. So for US, it'll be US dollar, and then hit add shipping speed. This way we'll be doing again, this cart really wants you to try to, it's trying to set it up for physical orders, actual things that are going to happen. And then you'll see your orders here once pre-registrations start to sell. So once we have the payment gateway and shipping speed done, Now, let's say that you do send out, let's say you send out coin or you send out stuff. You can actually make a shipping speed with an actual postage amount on it, and you put it in your dollar. And know that the store defaults to US dollar, but it should try and based on your IP address, it will go to your currency in your local area. So it should, whether it's Australian or Icelandic or US, whatever, it'll work. Okay, so once we have that done in the seller dashboard, then what we're going to do is in the marketplace, there's a category called event registrations. So once we click on that, you'll see the areas that I just put some in there that, to start with here for this tutorial. If yours isn't listed, let me know and we'll add yours real quick. So if we go to Norhaven, we can add this to Norhaven. And so we're going to add a new item. And then we're going to add some of the information. So I'm just going to take that Word document I had and just put full weekend pass. Just for this will be all filled out real nice with a description of what that entails. And then we're going to mark it as a physical product. It's not a digital product because just put it as physical product. It works best here. And then if you want to make an image for this, it will, I'm going to put that same banner I used. And then it's going to ask, do you want to set it as a full image or set as cover? I'm going to set it as cover. That way it shows up in the marketplace with that. If you put full image underneath it, it's going to show that twice. So all you really need to do is set it as cover. Let's say you want to add some other photos from your past events. You can do that here. That's fine. And then, put those in the product descriptions. You can set your images to go between the words or after the words or before the words. We just don't recommend putting the image as the first thing in the product description, because then when you share the URL, it's going to share a code that says attachment, blah, blah, blah. So put it at the end. That's best. Once you do that, you're going to hit save. And then it's going to ask you, okay, how much are we charging for this thing? So I'm going to charge $40 for a full weekend pass. Quantity is how many available are you going to allow? So like my location, I can have 200 people max. And then if there's the note will only show up. You really don't have to do anything with the notes unless multiple vendors are selling this. And then the note would be something like, why is this different from the other vendors that are selling it? So if we are co-promoting, technically we could do co-promotion and have more than one host selling pre-registrations. But most cases, we're going to have it all going to one. Even when you do co-promote, typically it all goes to one location. But that's something that you can work out with your hosting. It's available. You can do that either way. And then you hit sell item. Once the item is for sale, then it'll show up. And you can associate this purchase with other items. Let's say you got a full weekend event and then you got, family, add a family member or add a second member or, discounts or epic and legendary. You can add that stuff. But then, it's here. So now the marketplace has a place for pre-registration. Instead of selling or instead of promoting the single pre-registration URL for just that, go into your actual marketplace URL and copy and paste that. So in the event itself, I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, pre-registration is available for this event. And I'm going to modify my event to say, buy your tickets now at, and then the URL. And then basically you are now able to sell pre-registrations. It's all set up for you as a host. Save that, and then that URL will be there. You can save it in Facebook and all your other places, but now hosts can do pre-registrations. And then so in Norhaven, this will show up with the 5 others. Now let's say there's somebody selling food. We can set them up to also sell if we need to, or whatever. You can offer it or whatever. So if they want to buy the meal, or for $5 or $10, or let's say they want to buy a cabin rental, or rent of tent or garb or whatever, you can add all that stuff in there. And if you want to, let's say, the region of North Haven, let's say there's 5 events in North Haven and it's too cluttered in one area because you've got a lot of different types of event pre-registrations. We can subcategorize that for just that event if you want. Just contact me and we'll do that, and then we'll take it off after. But that's the complete way of how to create an event and do pre-registrations with it. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.